Hi class, my name is Terin Snyder and today I'll be talking to you about cybernetics. To start off, the purpose of this speech is just to inform you guys a little more about the world of cybernetics and all the interesting things that go on within that specific realm. To start off, when you guys hear about cybernetics, specifically kind of just the word, is there anything specific that comes to mind? My name is Terrence Snyder, and today we'll be discussing cybernetics. The interaction between humans and cybernetics in today's world is more common than ever, actually. As a student who is always looking for more information on technology and how we use technology, I've done extensive research about cybernetics, and I've learned some things that I would like to share with you here today. First I will define cybernetics just to provide a greater understanding, then I will give a common example of cybernetics, and then finally I will provide some information on why cybernetics is helpful to have for the human race. To start, quote, cybernetics, control theory as it is applied to complex systems. Cybernetics is associated with models in which monitor compares what is happening to a system at various sampling times with some standard of what should be happening, and a controller adjusts the system's behavior accordingly. And that's from Britannica. Basically, cybernetics can be helpful within the lens of psychological dysfunction. Quote, cybernetics is the study of principles governing goal-directed, self-regulating systems, offers a useful approach to understanding psychopathy and also psychological dysfunction. Overcoming limitations, end quote. Technoic Arts, a journal of speculative research, and then the author is De Silva. And really just to debrief some of those quotes that I just gave you guys there. So basically, to summarize the definition, basically cybernetics is, think of it sort of like autopilot in a plane. So it's a almost like a being, but what it really is it's like a being that doesn't have any emotion or feelings, and it's more kind of just directed to get its job done in a way. And then the second quote was from a study about about psychological dysfunction and how they could use cybernetics because it sort of gets straight to the main point. And now we will transition to take a look at cybernetic technologies. So cybernetic technologies are technology that we encounter sort of on a daily basis. Quote, cybernetics is more common than you might think. For example, medium Jane Kirk, the author of Creating a Planetary Culture of European Science, quote, few people realize that AI is built on a cybernetic platform, end quote. Medium is a platform for people to share stories. And then Jan states, quote, cybernetics is oblivious to culture, nationality, ethnicity, or ideology. It performs a given task without fear or favor, period. All it requires is conscientious about its purpose, target, or destination, end quote. Medium, Jane Kirk. And really quickly, Medium is just a website for people to share their stories and stuff. That's the credibility there. And so major takeaways from this article are that cybernetics and AI are very common things, and that we interact with them now on a daily basis, especially with the increased use of chat GPT and stuff. That is actually interacting with cybernetics. And cybernetics do not act on things like feelings or emotions. Instead, they focus more on getting the task done. And I know I repeated that before, but I think it's just important to reiterate because it's important to not get confused with all the work that's going on in the field right now with AI and people discussing how AI has emotions and stuff. Cybernetics is actually different than that. It's more straight cut and dry, and it just gets the job done, essentially. And so for my main point, number 3, this is going to be more about kind of why cybernetics is helpful to humans. So why is cybernetics helpful? To answer this, we must recognize that, quote, right now we are living in a time when the power of computing seems limitless. We are still gobsmacked by the volume of data generated every day. Our conversations are still about what we do with all that computing power and all that data, end quote. And this is from distinguished Professor Genevieve Bell at FTSE. And now we look at cybernetic implants, which could, well, so now we're going to test cybernetic implants and why they're helpful. Now we will look at cybernetic implants, which could prove to be helpful to humans. UNSF, W Medicine, and Health, Maddie Macy. Quote, in neural interface engineering, there are two main types of devices. Sensing devices read the signals from your brain and convert them into computer code that can drive, for example, a robotic arm for an amputee. Active devices take information about the outside world, convert it into computer code, and then back into the format of your brain so that you can understand. An example of this is the bionic ear, which takes input from microphones and uses electric pulses in a way that the brain can interpret as a sound. This example of cybernetics is important because it proves that it's possible to use cybernetic technology to improve others' lives, in this case, help others hear. And then the other example that was given in here was about like an amputee's arm, and cybernetics can be used in that way because like cybernetics can pick up on like your brain sensing and stuff that like moves your arm, and that's why how the prosthetics work and everything. So in conclusion, today I've defined cybernetics, then I discussed how cybernetics can be helpful to humans in multiple different ways. And humans often interact with cybernetics on a daily basis, more often than you might think. And I would just like to say thank you guys for listening to my speech. I hope you are all a little better informed about the world of cybernetics. Thank you.